General Hayden. John Bolton, National Security Advisor to the President, has, there's a fellow named Rob Joyce.
I know Rob. He used to work for me.
This for my,
now he's going back to NSA.
He's going back to NSA, and there's the report is that he will not be replaced, that they won't. Is that a smart thing to do, not replace the NSA?
I don't think it's a good idea at all. All right? Look, I've been in government. All right? Remember, big ship, small rudder. How do you make things change? You got 3 baskets of tools. All right? And that's all you got. You really don't, okay? One is you can throw more money at it. Okay? Second, I can throw more people at it. Third, I can create structures that in essence impose on the bureaucracy, this is important, pay attention. And I think Ambassador Bolton's decision to do away with the position and pull Rob back to NSA kind of gets in the way of all 3. It cannot but help but be read as a de-emphasis on the cyber security mission. Now, if we walk down the street and went into the West Wing to the corner office and say, John, why are you doing this? He may actually have a pretty solid argument with regard to efficiencies and streamlining and delayering and let the departments be the departments. And I get all that. But on balance, you asked my opinion. On balance, my opinion is you get the focus, you get the energy, you get the presidential White House attention by having that position. And when that position goes away, I fear it signals to everyone, it's just as important as you used to think it was.
Well, if they've been reading our series, they know it's important. I have a couple of general questions about this cyber area. What can government do, if anything, to disrupt Russia's ability to use Facebook, Twitter, Google? What's a practical thing we can do to interfere with that process?
Yeah, it's hard. It's very hard, and it gets in the way of free speech. Okay, we don't.
Well, do Russians have the right to free speech?
Yeah,
Mueller indicted 13 of them.
It's hard to suppress Russian free speech without having collateral damage to everyone's free speech. It's hard to police bad news sites and not have an effect on the free flow of the news. And so there's some things government might be able to do, but I think this is a private sector function. So I toss some ideas out in the book, all right?
But isn't in a sense, this is the price we pay for having deregulated information? And just to go back to this Russian information strategy again, I mean, one of the strengths of the American system, it seems to me, has always been it is difficult to break through. It's difficult enough for those of us who are in the professional business of trying to talk to people out there to break through, because there's so much news, there's so much information all the time. The Russians have RT, which is their television network. Nobody watches it. They have Sputnik, which is their radio. Nobody listens to it. They aren't particularly good or known for their ability to change hearts and minds. So why are they, in your view, though, I mean, why is this such a real threat then? Because looking at their record, they haven't been very good.
That's not the objective. Their objective is to divide, not to convince. And so what they do is they pick up native memes from the United States and amplify them. They're not trying to change your minds. They're not trying to tilt you towards Marx. They're just trying to mess with their heads and to make us a divided society. I write in the book about Jade Helm 15. Okay, that's a normal exercise in Texas and some southern states that Russian bots and the alt-right media convinced enough people in Texas was an Obama administration coup to arrest political dissidents, up to and including abandoned Walmarts being used as concentration camps and boxcars transiting Texas with leg irons on the floor.
Let's posit that there's a lot of crazy stuff on the internet.
But that's the point. It's on the net. And so two additional realities. More Americans get their news from the net than they do through the traditional curated way news has been presented to us.
Again, sir, that is true, but if you go to the first 2 pages of Google on any subject that you're going to look up, they're going to be mostly mainstream sources of news there. You're going to see CNN, you're going to see ABC, you're going to see the Wall Street Journal, you're going to see...
So there's a scholar at the University of North Carolina named Tufekci. She's Turkish by birth, North Carolinian by choice. And I heard her give a wonderful talk about how social media works. All right? And the social media business model is to keep you on the site. All right? The return on investment is clicks. And that's how they generate generate revenue. And so first of all, right, when you're working through social media, Facebook and YouTube and others, all right, they know who you are. They know what you like. And so they tilt you to something that you're going to find confirming. Okay? And Ms. Tefekci talks about social media being a lot like Doritos. They're comprised of salt and fat. And if you eat one piece of salt and fat, really what you really want is another piece of salt and fat. And you just can't eat one. And what the algorithm does, okay, there's a fellow named McNamee who was one of the early investors in Facebook and a mentor to Zuckerberg, who's kind of said, what have I done? The algorithm, the longer you're on, and again, they make money by keeping you on, drives you more and more into like-minded individuals because that keeps you on the sites. Right? And so the internet, rather than being this grand dialogue, all right, is now composed of increasingly darkening ghettos where people actually don't bend towards common views, but bend in the direction of like-minded, more extreme views. And it is embedded in the actual algorithm that's used for profit from the business model. And so what helps the Russians, or our own divisions, are creating our own memes, and now most of us getting information, not from Google, but from Facebook and others, which ghettoizes us even more than we know. And that makes it fairly easy for the Russians to do what they want, which is not to convince us. It's just to make us angry at one another.
There's more information about cybersecurity, including information on General Hayden's new book, on our website. Just go to realcleardefense.com and you'll get a prompt to go to our cybersecurity page.